Hey kids, Christine here, and I have good news and bad news. The good news is that I've made all of these lovely Victorian Dresden-style ornaments as a project, and it's been great and it was fun, and I just can't stop making them. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. What we're here to talk about today is the fact that when I went to edit the video that showed how I made these three-dimensional ones, the card won't read. No idea why. It won't read in the camera, won't read in the computer, either of them. So I think the card's corrupt, so all that footage is gone. Which is unfortunate, but not the end of the world, because much of what I did was simply collage, and you've all mostly done collage before. A couple of things I'll talk about, and then I want to show you one aspect of creating these, but I'll talk about some of the materials I used, which was, for example, in this case, there's book pages in this little lovely. This is a cupcake tin, a paper cupcake tin that I flattened out. Basically these guys, okay? And then some fussy cuts, which you'll need. This is just a circle piece of paper, regular paper, that I folded to be like a fan and then opened up to give that halo effect. Spray painted it gold. You'll see a lot of spray paint on these. This was just plain paper, spray painted gold. Little lace trim, a little fabric from a, what do you call it, a flower. It was originally a wreath decoration. And here is a fussy cut with some embossing powder to give it some bling, spray painted doily, another fan, another doily. Again, all kind of the same thing, just finding little different little different pieces of decorations from a variety of places. These are just some snowflakes. Music paper, lace. I was able to use a lot of the lace from my aunt's collection. Same thing here. I don't think there's anything overly different here. I did put some, I hot glued some of this garland around to give it more glow. Same with the owl. And yeah, so here's just one of those picks like for Christmas decorations. I simply cut off some of the leaves to put down here, and then added some little bling. Same thing, cupcake tin, powdered embossing, bling. What else? Here, this was some moss that I painted silver, and this was some burlap painted silver. This was some onion bag, you know, the bag that onions come in. It was that I painted gold. And I also used it in just red on one of the other ones. So anyway, so you saw the one, or you might have seen the video where I made them flatter. That can go in your journal with magnets, and they come out, and it's wonderful and more compressed. But these were the ones, and I was going to share with you some of the techniques. But in looking at it, the techniques are not that extraordinary. They're just collage, except for maybe making these fans. I want to show you how I made these fans, because it's so easy and so applicable to other things, like other decorations you might make. So that's what I'm going to do now. And the rest of you just need to go off and scavenge your stash for glitzy, blingy things. And if you don't have them, then just get some spray paint and some cupcake tins. I mean, this is beautiful. I love this one. It's got kind of a rose gold. And that was rose gold paint. I had spray paint that actually has this glitter in it. Book pages, a music page, cupcake tin, old Christmas tinsel, pipe cleaners. Some of them I made two-sided, and many of them I didn't. But the bigger ones I made two-sided because I could. So let me show you how to make these fans, because I think you'll use them in other things. So let me get this put away. All right, so what you're going to want is a sheet of paper that is 12 inches long. Okay, so here's scrapbook paper, it's 12 by 12. Now when I made the ones with the book pages, I just glued two book pages together so that I could get a full width, or full length of 12 by 12, because the book pages were only like 8 by something. So you might have to do that, but I'm just going to show you with a piece of scrapbook paper, and then we won't have to do any gluing. So basically you need to decide how wide a ruffle you want. And the width of your ruffle, so here's our length, 12 inches. The width of the ruffle will dictate how wide your finished fan is. So for example, this one, it was 2 inches. So it's 2 inches strips, and it gave me a 4-inch fan. So, and that was good for what I'm going to be doing with it. So that's just what you'll know, that if you do a 2.5 inch width, then you're going to have a 5-inch fan. If you make it smaller, you get the idea. So I'm going to stick with 2 because it's a nice manageable size, and I have some uses for a 4-inch fan. I'm going to cut 2 strips of basic scrapbook paper. So you can really use any paper you want. So, meaning the weight. You know, scrapbook paper, copy paper. I'm sure my HP Premium, whatever, 32 would be also a great choice. Then you're going to want a circle, at least one circle in appropriate matching colors. Now I'm going to take it, I'm not going to waste this sheet to get one circle out. I'm going to go find a piece of scrap, something like this, because chances are good it's going to be covered when I make my ornament. So this could be anything, could be book page, but I leave that to you to decide. So now you've got your 2 strips, 2 inches by 12, and we're going to fold them in half. And once it's folded in half, we're then going to take the open end and bring it back on itself and align it with the crease, and align this other edge with the crease, like so. All right, so then we just need to take any valley fold. So here's our 2 mountain folds. This is a valley fold, and make it also a mountain fold so that we always only have mountain folds. Then we're going to take our first mountain fold and align it with our edge. Okay, and then we're going to take our next mountain fold and do the same. And if you are picking up on a pattern here, you're absolutely right. So this gives us easily nice, even folds. And again, we open it up. Anything that's a valley, we're going to make a mountain. And guess what? We're going to do it again. Okay, and then, so I'm going to pop in here and let you know that you could stop at this point, at the point where I'm folding now, and you'll just wind up with a thicker ruffle. So here's, you can see this is about a 1/2 inch, and meanwhile the one that we finished with, the one that I made in this video, is more like a 1/4 inch. So that's all. You don't have to go crazy. I in fact have done them even to an 1/8 inch, which I folded it again, and then it became a really narrow ripple. As you can see here, this is even more narrow than this. So it's just a matter of how many times you want to keep folding and then making your mountain folds meet your edge. But you could just stop now with a thicker, bigger fold. You got it. Do the same thing. We're going to make everything a mountain. You know there's a mountain out of the molehill joke somewhere in there, but I'm not clever enough to find it. All right, so we have all our mountains again, and we are going to do the same thing. Take our first mountain and bring it right up to the edge, to that open edge, and then our next mountain. And then when you get to the end, you take that same open end and fold that up. All right, so you can go further here. And for one of them I did, one of my little ornaments, I had even half that, so I went again. But for our purposes today, we'll just do that. So now I'm going to do the same thing to the other strip. All right, there it is, all nicely folded. So now we just need to glue these two together. And the only thing to keep in mind when gluing your two strips together is that you don't want to interrupt the zigzag. So you're going to glue it so this side, this little mountain valley, goes into this little mountain valley, like so. See that? Easy enough. So we're going to put some glue on this. Just a little glue stick will do. So I'm just going to put some glue here in this last strip. And we're going to stick it right in there, like so. Okay. So you see how that all stays together, and it's still, at this point, a continuous mountain valley, mountain valley. Now we want to put these two together and do the same thing. So we're going to do the exact same thing down on the other end. So just some glue. You want to make a circle. So take one end to meet the other, and in it goes. And then just press it down, do the glue thing, make sure they're attached. You can put the glue away. The glue should be good and dry. Now you want to make sure you have your little circle. Again, it could be anything, scrap paper. Take your circle and we're going to twirl it in. And it's going to become this beautiful, lovely, perfect fan. Then once we have that, we're going to carefully take our hot glue and put some glue in the center here, like so. I'm going to keep it all together. Oops, I'm kind of killing my thing here, my edge. I'm going to keep it all together and bring in your circle and stick it down, because this will help it stay in place as it dries too. And then you want to kind of fan it out, make sure it's the way you want it in terms of the fanage. But there it is. It's that simple and that beautiful. So if you want to go again, you can make it even more narrow and you can make it wider. I haven't made any really big ones. I think the largest one I made was a 3-inch strip that gave me a 6-inch fan. And then you could do all sorts of things. You could spray paint this, as I did with many of them. But that's how you do it. It's very easy and gives you a really cute decoration that you can now take further and add more embellishments and create something even greater. Go create, be awesome.